All right, let's talk a little bit. I said I wanted to get back to your deal about the organization and goal setting and stuff like that. I know that those are big parts of what it is that you teach people when you have new recruits and things like that. So tell us a little bit about, I think you got 2 or 3 things down there that are kind of cornerstones for what you teach them. Why don't you walk us through that real quick, because I think that would be good.
Absolutely. So, you know, in growing a business, there are some very, very key points that you kind of have to keep yourself on track with. And if you've been in direct sales for a number of years, or if you're just new into direct sales, you know it can be a very overwhelming experience. And you know that the more that you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. The more time you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. It really is about balance. It is absolutely about balance. It is absolutely about setting goals. And don't be afraid to set goals. Don't be afraid to not hit your goal. It happens to every one of us. One of my favorite ways to teach people to set goals is by using a bullseye. So imagine if you're going out and you are shooting a bow and arrow for the first time, or you're shooting a firearm for the first time. Well, the first time you go out and you pull the strings on that bow, or you fire that firearm for the first time, are you probably going to hit dead center?
I actually tried that, and the answer was no.
Probably not.
No, I had a gun, and I missed the whole trait.
Absolutely. Most people are not going to hit bullseye the first time.
And it wasn't that far away either.
You know, and the same way with goals. The first time you set a goal, the truth is you may not hit it. And that's okay, because at least you tried. So what I do when I teach people to set goals is, imagine it is a target and there is a bullseye in the middle. And let's say that your bullseye is you want to hold 5 parties a month. Okay? So that's bullseye. And this is the first month you're trying this. Well, let's say that those outer rings, maybe that's 4 parties a month.
Interesting.
Okay? And then maybe a couple rings out, that's 3 parties.
That's interesting.
And then 2 parties. And then maybe what's your absolute no-go? Maybe that's 0 parties. Okay? And so that's completely off the target. I mean, you clearly missed the target. Okay? It's off in the trees somewhere. And so you get ready and you aim and you have that first month, and you know what? You held 3 parties. Are you unsuccessful? No, you're not unsuccessful. You still held 3 parties. You didn't hit bullseye. But do you feel like you accomplished something still? Yes. Are you discouraged because you didn't hit the 5? Maybe a little, but are you encouraged that you at least held 3? You weren't in the no, you weren't in the 0, you at least got on the target. So then maybe next month you have the same goal. Maybe next month you hit 4 because you've got a little practice in. And maybe 2 or 3 months from then you hit that 5 and you hit that bullseye. So we find that people don't set goals because they're scared to fail. And they're scared to fail, and so they either admit they never set the goal, or they don't set it at all. And if you get close to the goal, you're still successful. So I love using that bullseye.
I love that.
I really love that, because it doesn't make people feel like a total failure when they don't hit what they want.
And you know, we live in such a make or miss society, don't we? We live in a society where, you know, either you're a superstar or you're a loser. You're a this or you're a that. There's no, you know, the movie 50 Shades of Grey. There doesn't seem to be any type of distinction that I see. When you know you're doing, I love that bullseye goal setting. I wrote that down. That's good stuff.
You know, I absolutely love that, and I do love the sport of shooting. So it's probably one of my favorite analogies to use. And you can buy you can buy actual targets for very, very little, and I hand those out at my meeting, and I have them write down what they want. You know, what a fun way to encourage goal setting.
By the way, you talked about the shooting. My wife took the same gun that I had, shot it dead. Just FYI. Continue with your